Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me for WLBT Plus. My name is Kara Shirley. I'm your digital news desk host, and it is Tuesday, August the 5th. Appreciate you so much for tuning in and watching with me. If you are watching on our mobile app or through our website, we appreciate you. And of course, if you are tuning in on any of our social streams, which is Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, thank you so much for watching there as well. Don't forget, you can always join the conversation. If you have any thoughts or questions or suggestions or anything like that with any of the stories we bring to you today, feel free to leave those in the comment section and let me know where it is you are watching from. So I see Shakia here is already tuned in, and she says hello to everyone. Hello to you as well, Shakia. I hope you're having a great day. And anybody else watching, let me know again where you're watching from. So before we jump into the news today, let's take a look outside. We're going to look over downtown Jackson, courtesy of our guaranteed roofing sky cam. And here it is. Here you can see it looks like it's actually pretty cloudy out there right now. I don't think we're expecting any rain. We're going to look at our forecast in just a little bit. But we do have some clouds in the sky and some warmer temperatures. Now, it's still hot outside, still summertime, but we don't have the heat index values that we have been seeing over the past couple of weeks here. So that is one good thing. So we'll be looking at that in just a minute. Joanne is tuning in from Brookhaven. Hello, Joanne. Laverne says hi. Hello to you. And Ashley watching from Crystal Springs. Appreciate all of you for watching. Let's go ahead and get into the news. We do have breaking news or news that came to us this morning to tell you about a situation that happened in Hazelhurst where a pedestrian was hit and killed there. So according to Hazelhurst police, this happened just before midnight on Sunday. We're told that the victim has been identified as Mario Miguel Francisco. Now, police say that he appeared to have been under the influence of a substance when he was walking in the middle of the road. Now, the driver who hit him did stay at the scene of the crash, and they are not expecting any charges to be placed on that driver. If we get any more information on that, we will pass it along to you. And we told you yesterday about the situation that happened in Copiah County where there was a deadly wreck, and some firefighters ended up getting actually assaulted and having to go to the hospital when responding to this wreck that happened. So what we have learned since then is that it was volunteer firefighters there in Copiah County that were attacked by a crowd while responding to that deadly crash. So Copiah County Sheriff Byron Swilly, he says that they were called to the intersection of Allen and Lily Road around 12:40 Sunday morning. And here we go, around 12:40 on a Sunday morning. There is when they found the 18-year-old Zenkavian Brown was killed. There were 3 cars involved. So this happened in an area that we were told is notorious for drag racing. Investigators say 200 to 300 people were gathered when Copiah County volunteer firefighters arrived at the scene to assist. That's when authorities say people in the crowd then began attacking 4 of the firefighters.
3 that were treated. We had 3 that were treated. One for a gash on the lower part of his leg. We had another one that, the one that was a lead slam to the ground. He's in a boot. He's got maybe possibly some fracture.
And so the names of the firefighters who were attacked haven't not yet been released, and investigators are working to identify the suspects that perpetrated the assault on the firefighters. As we continue to get more information, we'll pass it along. And after the weekend shootout that happened here in Jackson at the Willowwood neighborhood, residents in Southwest Jackson subdivision gathered last night to talk about ways to help stop the violence. So, City Councilman Brian Grizel hosted the meeting at the Willowwood Community Center. 5 people are charged in the shootout, which happened Saturday evening on Redwood Drive off of Willowwood Boulevard. Representatives from Jackson Police Department, Capitol Police, and the Hinds County Sheriff's Department were there, and they talked with residents about some potential solutions to help curb the crime in that area.
These kids are not born into this type of life. So my thing is, why don't you pull them to the side by themselves, away from the peers that put them there, and ask them, okay, so what is it that you really wanted to do before you came here, before you got into this life? And then if you sit down and really talk to them and listen to them, some may say, I want to be an auto mechanic. Well, like I said to them in the meeting, I said, well, you got Mr. Richard Bradley doing the thing.
Councilman Grizel says even isolated crimes that happen between people who know each other have an impact on the entire community, as we can see there just with the crowd that was there for the community meeting, the emergency community meeting that was called and held last night. Coming to our social stream, Britt here saying hello to everyone, and hello to you as well, Britt. Miss Sandra tuning in from Crystal Springs. We have Jan watching from Mize, and Katie is letting us know that she is there watching as well. Appreciate all of you so much. Now, coming back here to Jackson, yesterday's Councilman Kenneth Stokes, had a press conference talking about a woman whose ride home from church actually turned into a nightmare for her on a Sunday afternoon. So Mary Mitchell says that it all started when she left church on Country Club Drive in Northwest Jackson. While she was at a red light at the intersection of a Country Club and West North Side Drive, one car pulled in front of her, another car pulled behind her, and she claims that the car in front shot into her car to get the person in the car that was behind her. Mitchell says that she is just glad that no one else was in the car with her.
That was shocking. I was on the phone with my daughter here, and she thought that I had a wreck. But I told her somebody shot in my car. And one of my granddaughter over there, sometimes she ride to church with me. I was glad that there was nobody with me.
Very glad no one was with her as well. Jackson police are investigating the shooting. They say that there have no arrests have been made at this time in this particular incident. Yes, very thankful that her grandchild wasn't with her, as she says she normally is going to church. So very glad that was not another situation or another shooting that we had to report on it that had an extremely sad outcome. Thankful for that. But if you are in this area, again, remember, she was at the intersection of Country Club and West North Side Drive. This was a Sunday afternoon when she left church. If you're in that area and you have security cameras, check it out, see if you can see anything. And if you do, pass that information along to the Jackson Police Department so that maybe we can find who was responsible for the shooting in this situation. And there is a Mississippi Highway Patrol trooper who is recovering this morning after he was involved in a motorcycle crash. His name is Tevon Moore, and he was in a crash that happened Saturday afternoon on a highway in Harrison County. So he was seriously injured and had to be taken to a hospital in New Orleans, and his recovery is expected to take months. The crash is still being investigated. Public Safety Commissioner Sean Tyndall says details about a GoFundMe account have been set up for Moore's family to help cover things like travel and childcare while he is in the hospital recovering. Our thoughts and prayers definitely go out to him. Looking here, we've got SB is tuning in from Prentice. Hello, SB. We got Melissa Price is here. Hey, Melissa, how are you? And Mina is here too, saying good afternoon to everyone. I like it when you guys all. It's like a little community here, right? Brenda Ruffin, it says, is watching from Jackson. Hello, Miss Brenda. I hope you guys are all having a great day. Well, a huge amount of marijuana has been seized following a drug bust in North Mississippi that actually involved an airplane. So this happened in Drew in Sunflower County. The Mississippi Bureau of Narcotics say around 247 pounds of marijuana, nearly $3,000 in cash, and an airplane. This airplane in the pictures right here was recovered. Guns were also seized. So California resident William Claren and Mississippi resident Mark Bailey were arrested at the Ruleville Drew Airport. Both are now charged with drug trafficking. Public Safety Commissioner Sean Hiddell says it is a major blow. This recovery was a major blow to the illegal drug business.
Sometimes these cases take years to come to fruition. And then you look at the amount of money that was seized, the amount of drugs that were taken off the streets, and the other property that was taken as part of this criminal enterprise. It was a very serious enterprise, and one that we're glad to be busting up.
He also adds that taking drugs off the street will, of course, help to save lives. Well, before we go and look at our forecast or we look at any other news stories that we have in the area, we need to hear from our sponsors over at Jackson Water.
At Jackson Water, we are in the game and locked in on our goals. Every day, our dedicated teams are hard at work, ensuring that clean, reliable water flows to every home and business in Jackson. We are not just fixing pipes. We're investing in a brighter, more resilient future for our city. Jackson Water. Water for all the time.
And again, thank you to Jackson Water for sponsoring WLBT Plus. Let's look at our current temperatures outside right now. You can see that we are sitting in the mid to upper 80s around the area. Our field-like temperature right now is 94. I told you yesterday, that is a big improvement from what it has been over the past couple of weeks. We've looked at heat indices that were in the triple digits, even as high as, I believe it was like 114 degrees, 115 one day. I mean, just hot is the only way you can put it, just deathly hot outside. So thankfully the temperatures are a little lower. The humidity and the heat index values are lower. So it's not quite as bad as it has been. If we look at our current radar, you can see we do have some rain in the viewing area, Copiah, Lincoln, Franklin, Amite, and Pike counties, but it's not a lot. It's just little pop-up showers here and there. And as we go through the overnight hours, those chances of rain drop off to 0%. And of course, over the next 7 days, the forecast is looking pretty much the same. We got actually, no, yesterday we were more copy and paste, and now we do have a little bit more chance of rain on a few of these days. So, but the temperatures are going to remain about the same. So our first alert weather team will be here at 2:30 today, and they'll give you that in-depth look at the forecast. They'll let you know if there's anything that we should be watching out in the tropics. So you want to make sure you're here with them at 2:30 today. So the Madison County Board of Supervisors had a meeting, and they debated in that meeting over a new employee policy to keep information from reaching media outlets. So county attorney Mike Espy presented an amendment to the board that would keep employees from engaging in official communications with the media, a governmental entity, or the public on any official county action or business. Only elected officials, the county administrators, or the county administrators' designees may speak to the entities. However, all of the supervisors raised concern during the board meeting as to why department heads, such as the emergency management coordinators, engineers, or even zoning coordinators, could not speak on business that they were involved in. Ultimately, the amendment could have made getting you information more difficult, especially information about road projects, scams, and other things going on in Madison County would have made that vastly more difficult for you to get it and for us to deliver it to you. However, after the lengthy debate, supervisors voted unanimously against passing the media censorship. And they requested that SB rewrite the language to not, quote, gag county employees. And the supervisor, let me go pull this up for you guys so I can give you the information on who reported that. Why is it not coming up? I'm having some technical difficulties, and I apologize for that. You can read more on this story on our website at wlbt.com. You can find that there, and it will give you the information on who gave that exact quote. And we also have an update on when the Metro's newest Aldi grocery store is set to open. So Ridgeland Mayor Jean McGee says that the new store on Highland Colony Parkway at Lake Harbor Drive is set to have its grand opening on August the 28th. This is going to be the first of several businesses to open at the new shopping center next to Costco. And in other developments elsewhere in the city, back in June, residents approved the tax referendum to fund expansions at Freedom Ridge Park. And Mayor McGee says that once the tax takes effect in October, the city will have a better idea of its path forward.
We will actually issue revenue bonds to allow us to go ahead with the construction and use that tax to pay the revenue bonds. Once that's done, that's paid off, then of course the tax goes away. I anticipate that we'll be starting construction in 2026 when we know a little bit more about the income, and I would think that it would take a couple of years to finalize the project.
So the latest numbers from the State Tax Commission show that Ridgeland has experienced a loss in sales tax revenue, but Mayor McGee disputes those numbers. Now, here's a wider look for you at how various cities have been doing in regards to their sales tax revenue. 3 on your side reviewed 18 different towns. Oh, let me pause this for you. I apologize. We reviewed 18 different towns and cities in Hinds, Rankin, and Madison counties that submit their state sales tax revenue to the state, rather. Altogether, those municipalities generated nearly $126 million in tax revenue over the last fiscal year. That's 1.5% less than the year before. So in terms of the top 5 earners, the city of Jackson tops the list at more than $30 million in sales tax revenue, followed by Ridgeland with 17.5 million, then Flowood with 15.6. Pearl and Madison did round out the top 5. So when we look at the cities that had the biggest increases in revenue, we have them here on your screen. So Byram tops that list along with $300,000 more this year than last. Then we have Brandon, Flowood, Richland, and Madison. And for cities where it says that the tax revenue is down, the biggest drop, according to the state numbers, was in Ridgeland, which brought in $2.3 million less. Again, the mayor disputes this number. Then we have Pearl, then Jackson, Canton, and Florence round out the list. So these are sales tax revenues that are lower or higher, depending from last year's numbers that came in. So that's what we have there. And you can read this full story again at our website and maybe be able to process it a little better than me just throwing a bunch of numbers out there to you. But that is the sales tax numbers and what we're looking at right now in several of the cities around the metro. And here in Jackson, the building that housed the historic Eudora Welty Library is no more. So if you drive by now, virtually all of the building has been torn down, besides a small brick wall along North Street. So this video that we have of the demolition is from a few days ago. The library was demolished to make way for the Margaret Ann Krigler Park, which is a green space that will accompany the two Mississippi museums. Crews are now turning their attention to filling in the structure's basement area. Looking forward to having that green space. If you haven't been to the two Mississippi museums, you must go check them out. It is a great learning experience for the state of Mississippi, especially when you take into account and look at the Civil Rights Museum that we have here in Jackson. I learned a lot of things there that I didn't know, and I was very glad to go and be able to visit that. You should check it out as well. Well, that is going to be it for WLBT Plus today. We are working on several different stories for you. Make sure you're tuning into our newscast tonight to get those, or tomorrow. I will bring them to you tomorrow as well. Our First Alert Weather team will be here at 2:30, and I will be back tomorrow at around 8 o'clock for your top 3 from WLBT. And then, of course, again at 1 o'clock for WLBT Plus. I hope to see you all then, and I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.